Hey, yeah, so let's talk about innovation with investment. Okay, yeah, so I'm not sure, like maybe some of you guys might be thinking, right? So I'm not IGV team or I'm BD here, PDiGV here. Then like what is this related to me? I mean, I hope that you won't have this mindset. Yeah, because like maybe you guys have also been involving with your IGD in doing a lot of innovation. But now I'll take a step further to talk about money kind of related stuff, the investment partner. Yeah, but before we talk about this, right? Let's go back to Angkor. Yeah, it's Angkor. Yeah, so let's ask ourselves one question, right? So why do you do what you do? Okay. Yeah, so you guys can join Slido right now. Yeah, so you can scan here. I'll give you 30 seconds. You should not be 30 seconds. Yeah, everyone join. Hmm.
30 seconds.
Oh, sorry. Hey, so I hope you have joined already. Still zero. And seconds. Come join. Wait. Okay, I think this is the number of answers, is it? Okay, yeah. Time's up. Okay, so I hope you are here already lah. So let's drop in the okay, to sustain, drop in the chat here. So why does PDiGV even need to exist in your LC? To sustain money, 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 money. Wow, ching, sustain LC. They bring in external perspective and innovate according to sustain to deliver more impacts. Wow, hey, wait, ching again, external context. Nice, I like this answer. Okay, come on. We have how many people here? 17 minus me is 16. Give me at least 2-digit response. Oh, the participant count up. Okay, what else? We have been doing this for, I think, 7 months, 8 months already. So why do you even like this here? Okay, last one. Let's break the 2-digit. Hello. Where did our 6 more percent go? No response. Well, set live like, yeah, we'll go to the next one. Okay lah, so moving on, right? So you mentioned sustain, right? So I think this is maybe a similar question, but I think you guys can also continue to answer. So why is the money secured for the sales one you get? ANF. Interesting. Okay, what else? Invest in project, make it better and more attractive. ANF. My God, yeah. Sustain IGB projects. Okay, come. Let's bring that answer in. Yes, this is a very realistic answer. Use it to bring impact to beneficiary involved in the project. And then ROC invest in LC project. Okay, great. It's quite holistic. Wow, okay. Support LC. Wow, this one you have 2-digit lah, talk about money. Widen the impact so can run bigger scale. I like this answer also. Community impact. Okay, this one also nice. Okay lah. Then last question, right? Hey, so you talk about where the money should be used, right? So where did you actually use your money on? So here we'll see whether you got talk with your FL or not to see whether how your FL use your sales loan amount. Wow, okay, this is nice. Even mask. I think next time can invest in sanitizer. But if no sales on, or then NA for this question. Project expenses like logistic, IR for volunteers. Nice. Okay, this one also very holistic based on this one. Give for LC, material cost, and then And then hey, under LED appreciation token by art supplies. Oh, I like this. Delivery cost. And then taking all money. Okay. Nice. NF is the highest fee. Yes, this is a very real thing. Okay, hey, thanks for all the answers. So I think today I wouldn't talk more about what NAF covers. I mean, I can spend a whole day to talk to you about your NAF covers, the allowance for me, all those, but I wouldn't talk about this today. Yeah, this is another topic. Hey, yeah. So I think here, right? So coming back to the first question. So why does PDiGV even exist, right? Let's talk about, okay, so I put this because I go and search business development flagship. Okay, so let's talk a little bit of what's even the definition of PDiGV, or what's the definition of BD business development itself? Yeah, so the definition of BD, right? It means, okay, here the simplest term is also a bit longer, right? It means, to summarize, is ideas, initiative, and activities will help make a business better. Okay, so it includes increasing revenue, growth in business expansion, increasing profitability by building strategic partnerships and making strategic business decisions. Okay, yeah. So I think here I don't have Slido, but you can type in the chat. So what's your business? Okay, so since the key highlight is making a business better, right? So what's actually your business? Really? Your projects delivering youth and community impact. What else? Some projects. Okay, thanks, Ben. Youth development. Okay, any more? Come in. Just now we got 10, right? For the money question. Here we have, I think, got 5. Come. So what's your business actually? Or do you even know what business you're running? Okay, I thought my PDiGV very active one. You know why today very big? Maybe too long didn't have commission thing already. NGO project.
You expect us to open mic, is it, Eugene?
I was expecting to type, but you can open mic and share. Yeah, you want to share?
I think it's the projects that we do, the projects and the events that we organize. That is our business. And then that one is our business model, but for our business essence, is going to be developing youth leadership. Yeah, through those events that we organize and projects that we do.
Okay, I think Chunhua here is very clear of exact business model and core essence. Okay, so thanks for Carmen's answer on NGO projects. Okay, technically we are NPO and we are running projects and so on. Okay, so I think at least the response I get here is considered a healthy response, because at least you guys didn't say, okay, your business is to get money. Okay, but then if let's say your answer was talking about digital promotion, then this is also a bit misaligned. And then if you are talking about community impact goals, I would say yes, but that is not our core business. So I think just now Chunhua also mentioned, and I think some of you guys like Junyi also mentioned, yes. So, sorry. Okay, that's great. Okay, because I actually attached a link. Yeah, so your business is youth leadership. Okay, so yes, we actually run those projects, and yes, we actually sell those projects to corporates to actually get funding, all those, right? At the end of the day, our core essence is always, having youth leadership development. And we actually, bring in our youth to actually deliver the impact to our SDG project. Then from here, we also use the project itself to actually develop leadership in our youth itself. Yeah, so recycle, stickmans. Okay, if you find this familiar, means you have saw something else. Actually, I copy from BJ's site. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I kind of recycled this project. Yeah, so here we talk about, we have our beneficiary, our FT, all those, right? Yeah, so that is part of the business, but it's like more of the how part, but it's not the why or the core essence. At the end of the day, right, even though what you are doing is continuing talking to corporates, but you always need to remember your key essence is youth leadership itself. Yeah, so coming back, right, so your key essence, yes, is youth leadership. And then remember just now you guys talked about those money kind of stuff, right? So I think here is a very straightforward reminder, right? Is that your end goal is never to get money for the sake of getting money. And I think here when I ask you guys the question, what is your business? You guys also, okay, luckily none of you guys say it's getting money. Yeah, so the end goal of PD is always to use the money itself to secure, use the money itself to invest in your youth leadership business and making it better. Okay, so again, your purpose, your department purpose, right, is not your role and your department purpose and why you are the respective VP or director here, right, is never to get money only. Okay, is to use the money to actually knock out a lot of stuff to like increase your project expansion and then increase the profitability, all those stuff. So that's why you have your cost structure you need to do in audit, all those stuff. Yeah. So I think coming back here, right, towards the question just now, the second and the third one, when we talk about NAF, I think here, one thing I want to talk about, right, is it's actually very normal that you or your member thinks that we are just securing the money for the LC to sustain, just securing the money for NAF. And that's a fact because, yes, we are running, we are using the funding to actually use for NAF, which NAF is go back to support LC. But anyways, that wouldn't be today's conversation. Yeah. And if your member don't know where else we are using this money for, right? Then it's very normal they just see getting the money for the sake of getting the money, getting NAF. I think here, right, the very important thing that we need to keep in mind is we aren't only doing that, and we shouldn't only be doing that. Meaning that that's why I also asked the third question, like where did you actually use your money on? Like where do you use your funding on? Do you actually invest it back in your project itself, or you just only use it for NAF? Because if you are only using it for NAF, right, then there's something wrong with your project. I am not even joking like that. And if you think about it, right, like when you are not using the funding or when you're not spending any cost to run the project itself, right, then definitely you wouldn't see why you need to bring in funding to your project itself, because you are not running with any cost. Like very straightforward thing. Like maybe back in the physical days, right? Okay, we have accommodation, we have transportation, all those. Then people can sort of understand why they need funding. But then now virtual, a lot of things are actually okay. Zoom need to pay to be real. Zoom need to pay, but a lot of expenses are being cut down. So it's very normal that even you or your member would think that oh, actually we don't need that much funding. But then actually, you need to think about it is if your project, you're not investing any funding back to your project, right? You're not having any cost for your project, right? Then how would you even pitch to your partner to tell them that you need the funding? Because you're not even needing the funding in the first place. You're not running any costs. I mean, besides NAF, yeah. So moving on to talk about innovation, right? So that's why today I want to talk about innovation. And I found this rocket one, which is related to your friend. So you guys are Powerpuff, right? Your friend is Rocketeer, okay? So speaking of innovation, right? So that's why here the innovation is very important. So it's not only for your project to be relevant, but okay, it's actually for your project to be relevant because you need the actual funding, the actual investment. Then you find it relevant to actually sell it to your partners also. And you find it relevant that you need to bring in funding to make the project even better and better again and again. And that's why, right, we always talk about synergy. Like, I think you guys have been hearing Lermin talk about synergy. And then, before you guys are VP, you guys are member already talking about synergy. Until now, I'm still talking to you about synergy. Why? Because synergy is definitely very important where one of you guys are playing the project management role and the other one, which is you guys here, is playing the partnership management role. Yeah, and that's why both of us actually need to liaise and synergy together to actually make sure that we can amplify the impact that we want to make towards our community. And I think here a very important mindset or concept that I want to introduce to you guys, right, is that yes, your VP IGV is the head of IGV product. But now, right, maybe in the past when Isaac in Malaysia isn't focusing much on sales, yes, they are the only product head. But when now that we are going into virtual, we are keep on innovating our projects and we are focusing on sales, right? actually your VP IGV is not the only product head of your LC. You also play an equally significant role in shaping how your project looks like and how it is relevant to your youth, community, and partners. So all these three stakeholders. So you're not only managing your partners, you need to make sure that the partner that you bring in can actually invest back in your youth and community. And you need to make sure that when your IGV is running the projects together with youth and community, it can complement towards the partners that you are bringing in. You have a very big say towards how your project would become. And if you're not involving yourself in designing the project, right, you must, okay, just do it starting after this commission meeting, okay? Yeah, and putting back here, right, actually that's why we always talk about, you need to have your key activities alignment, all those stuff. Actually, these are the roles that you need to play as the head of PDiGV, head of BD, and one of the product heads for your project. It's not only aligning the key activities so that you can sell to your partner and evolve them, but also investing in your LVV's experience and development, ensuring that the impact is relevant and strong. Okay, so again, our core is youth leadership, right? You need to bring in the funding to invest back in your youth. And at the same time, you also play a very important role to ensure that your partner can see how your LVV is developing to create a positive impact towards the world. Yeah, so just think about it, right? If you are not investing and adding value to your own LVVs, right? Why should your partner invest and add value to you? Yeah, I think you guys can think about this. So that's what I'm talking about today. Yeah, but coming back, right? So how can you actually innovate with investment? So I think here, actually just now you guys also, I would say, talk about how you guys use the funding to use on. I saw some art equipment kind of stuff. So it could be those, it could be equipment for maybe items for COP, maybe that you guys want to encourage your LVVs to actually plant at home. Yeah, part of COP key activities. And then certain items or equipment, maybe stationaries also needed to be used during the projects. Or maybe you guys can run the t-shirts or stickers as part of the gift to your LVV, right? But it's not the merchandise to sell. I mean, you guys can sell, but this can be one of the investment also. And maybe you guys are running competition prizes, all those. And I think just now some of you guys also mentioned that you guys have R&R for your volunteers also. So if let's say, they are here for leadership development, right? So if they really have the leadership development and portray Isaac values, why not have an R&R on them? And of course, I think here, right, I wouldn't give you guys too many ideas because honestly speaking, right, I think you guys know this better than me because you guys are the project's frontliner. And yeah, I'm not joking, together with the IGV. Yeah. So of course, I think here coming back to recap the whole thing, right? My intention of telling you guys about this thing, innovation with investment, it doesn't mean that you must use money. Yeah. I think the question that you can ask yourself is more on how am I investing in my LVV's experience and development as the head of media? Yeah, so very straightforward. Okay. So that's all for today's R&D. Actually, not much stuff, but it's just more on the mindset stuff. Yeah, so any questions here? You're fine. Yeah, I'll fine. No questions?
Wait, I'm thinking.
Okay, can.
Got that, but I don't know what to ask about. How does in terms of the suggestion you gave us in investment innovation helps in delivering our business value?
Okay. I think here going back to the kind of partner that you find. Yeah. So for me, what I'm looking into is for let's say your partner, if they are looking towards youth engagement, okay, then could this investment can actually help you build a better momentum among your LVVs to actually have more engagement. And then at the same time, I think looking deeper, right? So if the items that you are investing in your LBV or your community can actually help the project impact be better. For example, for Speak Up, right, besides getting laptop donation, another direction that we are going into is also having Speak Up to get stationaries or even bags for the student. So when you are investing back even more to your community, right, could this be something that is, how to say, not necessarily a selling point, but it would be an attraction point for your partner to see, oh, so they are not running things internally. They are actually really giving back to the communities, and it's something tangible. I'm even more willing to invest in it.
Okay, understand. Thanks, Eugene.
Yeah, but if let's say your partner just want digital promotion, then okay, maybe this might help, but the value a bit more aligned.
Eugene, I have one question. Can you go to slide 26? Yeah. So regarding the last statement, right? Ensuring our partner can see how our LVV is developing, right? So how do we actually do that? Do we like bring them straight join the 4-week realization, or do we like update them on how the LVV is doing, or how? And then is it this one is like one project, or is it like a long-term thing that we need to keep updating them like our LVV status, this kind of thing?
Okay, good question. So I would say this one, okay, come again your question. A bit too long. Like how can we achieve number 4?
Yeah.
So I think here it depends on okay, how you customize according to your partner needs. So if let's say today your partner is someone that they don't want much commitment and involvement in the project, but maybe they just want the results or the outcome, then the documentation during the project itself can be part of the, I would say, okay, evidence is a bit weird, but then part of the things that you can actually showcase to your partner to let them see that, okay, when I'm selling you a youth development in this community, right? Okay, this is what they're doing. And then that's why you have your project, I'll say your partner impact report also, right? Yeah, because you need to let your partners know that what you have done, not only including their name itself. And if let's say the things that your partner is looking into is more on they want to feel good, they want to have engagement with the people, then definitely you can bring them in also. But again, here is also synergizing with your IGV in terms of how many touch points you want to bring them in. And it could be, I would say, it could be just bringing the partner in for them to observe. But I think most likely your partner wouldn't want unless your partner is really down to the ground. But then it's going back to your key activities on how your partners can actually interact or involve in the project itself. You can also do the documentation also to showcase them.
Documentation as in like we record the session or we take photos of what the LVVs are doing, is it?
Yeah, I would say the photos would be more fast because I don't think they will actually watch the video.
Okay. But it's, I don't know, I find it a bit contradicting. Like for those partners that they just want to see the end result, then it's hard to let them see that we are really creating a positive impact towards the world. Because when we are saying this one, we are often saying that after a few how to say, because each batch the LVV also different, and then each batch the student also different. Let's say for Speak Up, each batch the student also different. So it's very hard to see like there is this continuous development of one person. So I'm just really curious on how do we let them see like in this short 4 weeks realization, they can see the person really like grow like different, they say, oh, Mebang can do positive impact on this world in just like 4 weeks.
I think here there are 2 things to look into. So the first one is going back to what kind of partner is this? So when we are talking about outcome and results, right? Is it they want the branding only, or they want the, how to say, the results of the impact? So if they want the branding only, right, then yeah, definitely these are the things that they wouldn't be interested to look into. But if let's say they want to look at the outcome itself, then I would say these are the things that we can collect to actually showcase to them. Then moving on to the second part of the question. So I think here the question you are talking about is whether the project you are doing, right, is it really having sustainable or long-lasting impact? So I think here is going back towards, are you like, okay, for example, you say the students, right? So could it be same batch of student involving 2 times, like in 1 year in the same batch of realization? This is something you need to liaise together with your school partner to see that, okay, can I re-raise the same school partner? So that's why we talk about long-term partnership, right? Yeah, and also look into what your school partner might want. So could it be that they want different activities every time? Or do they want like maybe the same kind of STEM topic every time? Then from there, you're having the same batch of students. Yeah, and then at the same time, if you want to look at a shorter term, shorter time frame, right? So I remember back then when I'm in LC, so the 6 weeks GV thing. So what we will do is we will actually not only let the GV EP to actually teach, purely teach the kids, but we will actually let them prepare tests also. So we will invest in the test paper, printer, all those. Yeah. And then while they are preparing the test, then we will compare, okay, the first time they take the test and the last time they take the test, is there an increase in the results? So did they learn even more? So I think this is something that you can look into synergizing with your LVV, your IGV project in terms of, okay, how can you evaluate whether you got delivered impact or not?
Oh, okay. I understand. Thanks, Eugene.
Okay. Oh, sorry, time's up. Okay. Yeah, so GG took a little bit more time. Okay. Yeah, so I think, yeah, okay. So thanks for you guys for the questions. Okay, so moving on, I'll talk about ER principle refresher. So I think some of you guys know, I think half of you guys already know this, but another half don't know. So into downscale. And also you guys can click into this, and I think this is a very hot slide already. I think the viewer is like how many? Okay. Yeah. Okay, some of you guys are here already. Yeah. Great. Anyways, yeah, so we have our consolidated ER principle booklet. So I think the first thing to talk about, right, this is a refresh and standardization of ER principle practices. So there's no new motion being legislated into the compendium. So actually all the compendium law stuff is actually the same. Yeah, and then here I actually put in what are the key alignments and the minor amendments changed already. And you guys can also read the table of content here. Yeah, so I think you guys here know how to use HubSpot, right? So I will go a bit faster. Yeah, so to talk about the alignments that have been done, right? So I already attached the revised ER principle, so you can click into it. Moving on is I also refresh it for all the sales function, so that everyone have the same practice, and this is being downscaled to EVA, NCR, and IGTA also. Yeah, and then moving on also, I got talk about the email integration, so it's something very good that you can look into. Yeah, but I wouldn't explain here. Yeah, moving on is talking about the company cross-checking process, right? So this is something that when your new members are looking into it, then they know that, okay, need to cross-check itself. So to click here, yeah, so, okay. So before you even generate a lead, right, please, and tell your member, please, really cross-check whether this lead exists already. Yeah, so make sure it was not created, or else you are creating a new duplicated lead. So put in the search bar, and then click the see all to look into the results. Yeah, and then, okay, then if let's say there are too many same ones, right, then actually you can look into another site, but later I'll explain more, and ensure that, the company was not created before. Yeah, so the tip is just straight away go to the search bar. Moving on is the 60 days thing. So a lot of you guys have been asking, right? So, so how do I see whether this deal is mine or not? Or how do I see, am I still holding this deal? So it's going back to what is written in the compendium, which is the 60 days rule. Yeah, so you need to check the existing deal are active or not, okay? So if there are no activities or updates in the past 60 days, right, you can take the lead by clicking a new ad, okay? So to emphasize, right, is the updates here on the stages, okay? And it's based on deal, and your deal need to have your LC name, all those data. I'll explain more. Yeah, so if there's any activities on the deal within 60 days, right, you cannot approach the company or the lead unless you gain permission from the LC who owns it. Yeah, and everyone needs to document and write the information. also based on compendium, where, okay, if let's say today you have meeting, but then you didn't feel it's fine. But then after 5 working days, you actually need to document all the things inside now. So everyone is responsible to fill in. Okay. Moving on is the standardized deal name format. So one thing we realized is, okay, for IGTA, they didn't actually put the deal name with the LC, right? Then, but then for PDiGV and NCR, we have, and then it's a bit confusing also among, yeah. So that's why here we actually standardize the thing where you need to go according to the deal name of LC, function, timeline, and then the company name. And then whatever you want to write afterwards is up to you. So it's not only clicking generate, click, yeah. You need to write is your LC name. So if you didn't write your LC name right, then anyone can take, okay? And the reason why you want to put function is because now Isaac and Malaysia's sales is growing. You have more and more sales team, and then sometimes different sales team might want to contact the same company. Yeah, so that's why we are also putting the function thing so that when you are contacting the respective person, right, you contact the right person. So for example, okay, KP not, okay, yeah, let's say KP is running IGTA. So you might approach Ben to ask him, hey, Ben, this lead is yours, right? May I know if you're still contacting? But maybe Ben doesn't know, and then Ben need to ask his VP IGTA. But then from here, then you can actually know, okay, who do I need to directly approach? Yeah, and then emphasize, right, is that close date only serve the understanding. So close date does not mean that you own this deal. So you can put until next year, but if you don't have 60 days in touch, then the lead is open for everyone to take. Okay. Yeah. Moving on is, okay, the 60-day governance is also very clear. So I think some of you guys also feedback to me talking about actually some of the leads, right, is actually 1 year ago already, so they can directly take, they don't need to talk to me. And then some of you guys also talk about actually, right, this company, they are still in contacting, but then like sometimes other LC might overtake it. Yeah. So if you're interested in another LC's lead, right? So as long as the lead is active and in touch within 60 days, you need to contact the respective LC's call account manager according to functional call account manager. Okay, and the call account manager need to respond within 5 working days. So later I'll also explain more how you define a call account manager. Moving on is, if let's say the lead have no active deals in touch for more than 60 days, you have the right to take the lead, but you need to update the respective call account manager. Yeah, you need to let them know, okay? If it's less than 6 months, but more than 60 days, okay? So you definitely have the right to straight away take, yeah. But then you need to inform them so that they are aware also, because 2 months, most likely they recently just contacted, and maybe you can get certain contacts. And if let's say the deal is not in touch for more than 6 months, right, you can straight away take, you don't need to actually contact the respective call account manager. Yeah. So moving on. Okay, so 60 days. Okay, database too. So now, right, I also consolidated a new database for everyone to refer. So you may ask, okay, so how do I contact the respective entities call account manager, right? Okay, so here you just directly tag the active deals call account manager or the person there, and then you can refer to who is the call account manager in the ER database. And you can also approach them in the Telegram group now, which I think a lot of you are here. You are adding more of your members also. Yeah. So what is this ER database? Actually, is to refer on who to find for the respective entities leads. So if you are, how to say, your respective functions LCDP or PIC, for example, Felicia, she's the PIC for PDiGV, then she's a call account manager. Okay. So everyone also fill in your information here. So I think a lot of LCs are filling in. Yeah, so we have people filling in. Yeah, so if let's say you are the respective functions call account manager, for example, me and Jensen, okay, then it's a yes lah. Okay, yeah, so for here, okay, for example, Chunhua, yes, then you are the call account manager. Okay, yeah, and then yeah, moving on. Okay, so in this ER data, to explain more, right? So the reason why we are also putting name and Isaac email is also because how to say, in your database, right, when you want to search this person, tag that person, it's actually go based on email also. And then if you want to contact that person privately, then you can go through the contact number. Hey, Moving on, yeah. So this database also serves the documentation for merging duplicated leads and also the violation. And then, okay, so I'll talk about the Telegram group communication. Yeah, so you can directly click on, and then the reason why we have this group is also to have people to communicate among different sales team also. Okay, so for example, let's say KP's EVA sales team is interested to approach PDiGV Utah leads, right? Then you can directly communicate in this group also. Especially if let's say this person you privately text them and then they didn't reply, then you can directly tag in the group. Then their kawans from the same LC will also see, and then they can remind that person. Yeah, so and then here I also put a format here already, where how to say if you want to contact a certain person, let's say you're interested in what lead, right? Put the link, and then you are the respective LC that's interested, then you put the function. Then who is currently owning that lead, then you can write the message here. So yeah, give you the SOP. That's like SOP. Okay. Moving on. Okay, and then going back to the duplicated lead, right? So if let's say you find it very confusing that the same lead or got actually, how to say, the same company have a lot of leads there. So you need to actually research on the existing leads to see which one are actually the same. Okay, so some may share the similar name, but it's actually different context. For example, here we have 4 SMK convent, right? This SMK convent sample could be a different school because they share the same name, but they're in different location. And then moving on is cross-check if there are any active deals or last contact, and then align with the respective LCs to see, okay, whether it's okay to merge all those to see if got clash or not. Yeah, and then you actually put inside the ER database. So for example, actually got people put already. This one, okay. Yeah, so put down the respective information on the ER database tag. So you can just put in, and then here I also put red on the things that MC field. So the remaining is for you to actually fill in. Okay. Yeah, and then you inform your respective MCDP to check and merge, which is me for everyone here. And moving on is violation. Yeah, so in case your, I'll say your lead was contacted by someone else, right? Then actually you can include the information in this tag here. PUUM. Wow, so fast already. Okay. So let's look into it. Okay, yeah. So okay, if you contacted another LC's active lead, right, your whole LC will actually face consequences of not being to do any sales. Okay. Okay, yeah. So okay, so for your existing partners, you can still talk to them. The secured meeting, you can still talk, but then you cannot, how to say, you cannot do cold contacting for new leads for 1 week. Yeah, if let's say this lead is currently another LC is talking to right now. Yeah, and then if let's say the other LC's lead is actually an existing partner, right? Then the penalty would be your LC cannot do cold contacting for 2 weeks. Okay. Yeah. And moving on is also, if let's say this clash in communication has resulted in your partner pull out, right? Then the respective LC cannot do cold contacting for 1 month. Yeah. So if let's say there are any cases, then you can actually fill in the information. You can encounter any scenarios here, and then you can put in the context and then document inside here, and then tag your respective MCDP. So now I saw this, okay, tag here already. So later I need to look into it. Okay, and then also, okay, so some of you guys may ask, right? So what if I talk to this lead, but then they ask me to reapproach them a few months later? So if let's say it's on hold, right? The LC in charge of the lead should put the reason and the date on when you would recontact the lead in the HubSpot notes. And then if you already put the contacting date, the reason, all those, right? Then other LCs cannot take charge of the lead, but provided you put the recontacting date. Okay. But if let's say there's no recontacting date, then we'll go back to the 60 days governance, where it's more than 60 days, then it's open to everyone. Okay. Then, yeah, lastly, we have a frequently asked questions. So if you have certain questions, you can refer there also, or you can directly talk to me. And I also put some minor amendments. Yeah, so you can refer here also. Yeah, and also, so some of you guys also have a certain confusion, right? So does it mean I need to change all of my previous lead names, all those? Okay, so here is the whole timeline. So today we are downscaling here at commission, right? And here I also give you buffering time to actually downscale to your members. So because you have members selectors, I guess. Yeah. Then here we also send a reminder for everyone to update your ER database. Okay, this one. Yeah, update here. And then again, week 2 to remind. But then in week 3, right, would be the deadline to actually fill in the ER database. Okay. Yeah. And then on week 4, so 20th September onwards, right? All of your lead need to go according to the new deal naming, which is the LC function and then timeline, that one. Yeah. And then the violation management will start in fact. Okay. So for now, if there are still certain, different practices or confusion, then overall we are giving everyone 1 month to actually buffer. Yeah. But then on 20th September onwards, right, then all of your new deals need to go according to the name. Of course, your old deals, if let's say didn't change, we will encourage you to change out. But if let's say the old deal didn't put, then it wouldn't be considered violate because there are a lot of old deals for you to update, right? But then for your actively old deals, I would highly recommend you to now change the name also so that you can prevent all the confusion. Yeah, so okay, quite one way for 10, 15 minutes already. Okay, ready? Yeah, so any questions here?
Eugene, I have one question. It's a bit weird, but regarding the due stage, right? Okay, so let's say I'm in follow-up stage, and then I had a first meeting, right? And then I straight put meeting held, and then I skip the meeting scheduled stage. Is that acceptable?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, okay. Then but it's not encouraged to skip stage, all right?
Yeah lah. I mean, for depends on the situation one, because for example, if you only have one first meeting, then you already can close the deal, right? Then I wouldn't need you to fill in the follow-up again. Yeah, so you just update the stage according to what actually happened.
Oh, okay. Or because sometimes I will click then I cannot reverse back the stage, right? So yeah, sometimes I also don't know what to do.
Okay. I think here is, yeah, you can still record there because I will actually track your HubSpot and your GBA thing. So if you have that stage went through in that week, then you need to click. So for example, I use plus. So I think meeting schedule is fine because when I'm tracking you guys, so in your GBA, I wouldn't track you guys I wouldn't track your meeting schedule also. So skipping this is fine. But if let's say you already have a certain first contact or follow-up done before and you are recorded in your tracker, right? Then you need to click it again for them to have the record.
Okay. So if we misclick, then we just we change back the stage and then we put a note there, like say that one is a misclick. So the actual stage is this one. Okay, then because HubSpot will actually record that, right? So so we should like -1 for the thing.
Yeah. So actually when I check the dashboard, we look into here. So okay, come again your question.
Means that okay, let's say I'm in follow-up right now. And then no, sorry, let's say I'm in first contact now, but I misclick meeting held, but it should be follow-up. So when I generate the report, right? So there it will show meeting held 1, right? So that one I should. So what should I do?
Do you have a meeting held?
No. I misclick. It should be follow-up.
You can write a note there that actually that one click on.
Oh, okay. Then in our own LC tracker, should I record it down, the meeting held?
No need.
Oh, okay.
So but you need to remember that you got misclick before, then during like let's say preparation audit and closing audit, right? When I'm checking the alignment, then I would know that you can
Okay.
also. So I saw Eugene raise hand.
yeah, so basically about the follow-up, right? Because sometimes follow-up we need, it's a bit long time, like a few months, I don't know. Yeah, so Chuna is laughing at me. Yeah, so like the follow-up, because first time you follow like the first time, then if you wanna, it's still our leads, but the follow-up is still like the very initial date lah, which is probably like a few months ago. So do we put like a note, or like do we change back to first contact then follow-up, something like that?
Wait, meaning that you keep on follow up with the same company for a few months.
Yeah, something like that, like 3-4 times like that.
For that specific lead, right, you don't need to write, like in your LC tracker, you only write one time the follow-up.
But then if little people don't know, like, oh, after like how many days follow-up only, but I didn't update the leads, then how to
okay.
get back on this? Yeah.
So you're not referring to audit, you're referring to the 60 days thing, is it?
Correct.
So you can actually write the notes of your meeting output.
Or just put the notes out like, oh, we're still following up, something like that.
Yeah. The meeting output or okay, yours is follow up, right? So you can write the documentation, okay, you follow up on which date.
Oh, okay. Okay, understand.
Use the
All right,
notes.
thanks.
I see a few more questions. Meeting held not to. No, meeting held is first meeting. Then Alicia got a question?
Huyen can go first because she raised her hand first.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see a raise hand. What?
Me. Yeah, I want to ask, right? If like like if you have another stage already, right? We should change the how to say we should change the deal stage in the deal that we created, or we should add a new deal actually. Because I realized like if we didn't add a new deal that we change the stage, then in the report I think it wouldn't be like it wouldn't show the stage before.
Don't get like a bit miss also the message.
Yeah, I get what she mean. Let me rephrase for Eugene to understand. Okay, so basically what Hui mean is that when you update a lead status already, right? The report will only show you the latest status of that particular lead. It will not lump sum show you it's in first meeting already. Do you get me?
Yeah.
How do I put this? Okay, let's say for example, my lead is QL lah, okay, and I'm currently in the follow-up meeting stage with them. So when you look at the overall dashboard in the report tool, right, it would not be included in the lump sum of first meeting. Yeah, it would only show that it is in follow-up meeting only. Yeah. Is that what you're trying to ask me?
Yep.
Okay.
Wait, I still don't get. Okay, here is my dashboard. I click the everyone access dashboard. So here, meaning that, okay, you are in first meeting already. And then?
It means like, okay, if we have first meeting, right, then we change the deal stage of the deal to first meeting, rather than like maybe before that is maybe in meeting held, but then after like meeting schedule, and then we change it to meeting held. Yeah, so in the report it will only show like it's one lead under meeting held, but then it's not shown as one lead under meeting schedule.
Oh, yeah, man. But here is based on the entered stage one. Is you got enter the stage before, then this report will show one. So meaning on this date, right? Let's say I click here MOA sign. So naked motion. Okay, but this. Okay, let me click one. Here got. Okay, like decline here, right? So this lead was in first contact in this specific date range. So it got enter first contact before, and then at the end it's in decline. So it will record on both one.
So it will be recorded.
Yeah, as long as you got clicked before, you got enter that stage before, it will record one.
Okay, then like if we So it means if we move to another stage, we just need to change the stage in the deal on the right. We don't need to create another deal for it with another stage.
No. You just like for example, love of organic now. Okay, currently it's in first contact. This one, let's say. Then you have follow up, and then you go to first meeting. So you directly click first meeting, right? Then you just need to click once the follow up, and then click back first meeting on the same
So
day.
once we click it, it will be counted already.
It will be recorded because it's based on it enter already before.
Okay, that. Thank you.
Yeah, is it the same question with June?
I'm just rephrasing Colin's question.
Okay, let's go with Alicia.
Okay. Just now, I think I just like to add on like to what just now the solution about putting the note when you accidentally click a different stage, right? That one I asked Devin actually during summertime, and then like she said to me to delete the deal, and create a new deal. Yeah, but then there is that I tried it before, and then I realized that the cons is that it might be a bit like cacat lah, like the data before that, because they already record already. So yeah. So what I did was I actually went to the LC tracker and updated lah. Yeah, to make it lesser, and then I make the deal created as on the day itself, but the one that I deleted, and then I create the deal. Yeah. And then I had to update stage by stage. Yeah, very manual. Yeah.
I think you guys don't need to delete, but you really need to compile to let me know. So I pray you guys don't always click wrong, but if you got click wrong, you compile to let me know. So I know that's the variance in the data. Yeah. But I wouldn't suggest you to delete because if you delete, then the previous documentation also went again. Yeah, but the data cacat thing, you don't need to worry on that because for my routine, right, every Sunday I will actually go and document the hotspot data. So just let you guys know. So we have this thing, right? Okay, this is the compile one. I actually compile everyone's data here on. So I think best that you let me know, but the previous data is recorded here. Then I refer to the total number here. So even though the database got a big change. Yeah, Alicia, still have a question, is it?
No, I'm gonna lower my hand.
Okay, I think this one I will cut the time because we have 5 more minutes until okay, but it's a good.
It's over 8 minutes out, Eugene.
Okay, I'll be faster here. Yeah, so this is something I reminded NCR last week already, but just to let you guys know again. So if you are running NCR project, then you don't need to set the sales goal because the thought process is to get OP first, then you open audit. So here I also clarify already. So unless you're running NCR with FP, for example, like UNMC, like that, then you don't need to put your sales goal and the cost structure. Yeah. And then moving on for early bird results, congratulations, everyone failed. Okay, yeah, so to let you know, the pass fail thing is everyone need to fulfill all the criteria. Yeah, this is the minimum. Yeah, and then in terms of the details of why you fail all those, you can directly approach me, which some of you guys already approached already. Yeah. But the general one, anyone got any questions here? Yes.
I have one question. How for the market research part, right? How can one project pass and another project fail when the market research is the same thing?
Okay, yeah, let me see.
Yeah.
I remember I go and check. I click all at once. I mean,
yes. This one I think very long already. I cannot brain. I cannot think of a reason to convince myself.
No, you don't need. Which one? Market research. I think
you see for nature model is pass and then for speaker summer is fail. I don't understand that. It's the same thing.
Okay. I think this I will go and revise it. Sorry. Thing is I pull down. Just if Phil would write the notes on.
Oh,
I think
okay,
not
okay,
too
okay.
much. I'm sorry on that.
Then
Sabrina?
also for the HubSpot implementation, right? You say Phil, right? No, sorry, but for the HubSpot implementation, I also don't see any notes there. So I don't know where did I record wrong.
This one, yeah, that's a bit, okay, this will take a little bit time, but here you have your partner tracker, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't include the HubSpot in here.
Oh yeah, this one I know because I forgot to put. Yeah, this one is the audit I already failed already, but I'm just wondering for the HubSpot implementation, why how to say
HubSpot
why there's
implementation
no
is,
notes there.
oh, this one is together with this one. So your
Oh,
leads,
okay.
it's not recorded here. So the criteria are
Okay.
linked together.
Oh, understand. All right. Thank you, Eugene.
Yeah, but I think the case by case I'll go offline. Okay, Sabrina, any questions?
Yeah, it's also about the market research. So like for both projects of health, it was mentioned that there wasn't labeling, I think, for the tab, but at the bottom part there I got put it in like caps there as winter. Yeah, under the master sheet.
Okay, then this one I will revise later offline.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think that's all for audit. If you guys have more questions, you can still find me now. Okay, yeah, so announcement. So people, we have come to our most exciting B2B summit. Okay, yeah. So here's even the icon post, which I will post tomorrow. Yeah, but here let us know. And then tomorrow I'll send in the broadcast. Okay. Yeah, so it's on 18 and 19. So book your dates. And then the targeted functions are basically all the sales team. But then for profile wise, it's only LCVP, director, and potential LCVP and EST also. So if you are EST, you have perks. Anyways, yeah. So mainly also want to I'll say restrict number of people, just like the last sales summit. It's also because in this summit we'll look into working spaces and also interaction with the external guests that we are bringing in. Yeah, so mainly from here we want to control the delegate number so that we can have a more interactive experience. But then here is the number we didn't limit, but then profile got limit. So you and your director can join. And then if you have any potential LCVP, that person can also register. And you are also responsible and in charge to actually bring back the learning to your team also. So it's not only going there to listen or do working space, I also need to bring back. And you can click the registration form here. The due deadline is here. The objective, all those are also written in the registration form already. I also send out as a message in the broadcast. So moving on is the IGV functional visit sensing survey. Yes, so here, right? Okay, so we have week 3 and week 4, but then after the NILC, we also have certain slots. But I haven't fully checked with VJ first. So, okay, this one haven't fully checked. Later, afterwards, we'll update in the tracker. Anyways, yeah. So for functional visit, we are also having customized support for everyone here. So objective is off here, and then you can fill in the sensing form. Yeah, your VP IGV box will also fill in, and then it will be different based on different LC needs. So we also get your set availability of those. And then moving on is group coaching. So yeah, sorry guys that we missed out August. Then let's do August and September together. Yeah, so I already opened the 3 dates here. So 9 to 11. And you guys can book me. So I also make a specified link already. And yeah, so the due deadline to book me is on 3rd. So quickly go and find your ones here. Okay, so I already put you guys in group. Yeah, and then moving on. So here is to let you guys have a clarity of your upcoming commitments also. Yeah, so that you guys can be very clear about your commitment. So now we are at last week of August. Yeah, and then week 2, we have commission meeting and the group coaching here. And then we have B2B summit, and then we have the commission meeting. And then depending on your LC, some of you guys will have functional visits on different dates. Then we have NILC, but it's for your members, new members. Yeah, and then here also got functional visit now. And then we also have commission meeting here again. And then if let's say that time you are applying for LCT already, then you will be joining NVM here also. So to let you guys know about what's happening for the upcoming 2 months. Okay. Yeah, moving on is the industry research resource sharing. So remember to upload your industry research here, okay, and do your research. Like, it's very important. I hope that you did do your research going into your LC planning also. Yeah, and you can also directly put in the national sheet. If you don't know what is national sheet means that you didn't come from ILBS and you need to come and talk to me. And then now we are still in realization. So if you need a revision, then here it is. And then, okay, sorry, this one I'm liaising quickly, but then she recently quite packed. So she today also having the LC in planning. So for this one, I should put black color by means, okay. Yeah, marketing will send out by end of this year. Sorry that last week I said end of this week. After so send out. So that's all for today commission meeting. So okay, delay 3 minutes. Okay. Yeah, so you guys can put in the feedback also.
Eugene, want to double confirm the B2B sales summit, no limitation, is it? But it's more on the profile that should attend.
So no delegate number restriction, only the profile.
Okay, okay, understand.
And it's B2B summit, not sales. Because this time we are doing B2B sales and marketing.
Wait, come again. What is it?
We are doing B2B sales and marketing.
Okay. All right, cool.
We have a VP, we have an MC VP marketing here already. So the focus changes.
Okay, thanks.
So you guys can write your feedback. So I feel some music.
Eugene, can I be minute taker next week?
I
forgot the minute take. I forgot the minute take today, and then Junie and Junhai actually they got minute take. That's a really good job to you guys. So
yeah,
so maybe you can replace Junie with me and then me with me like that.
Yeah, it's okay, Alicia. I can replace me tomorrow. Next
Tomorrow?
next week.
next week.
Tomorrow.
2 weeks.
Yeah, let's
Everything
go
is done.
tomorrow. Let's go.
Yeah, no, Felicia came in late, right? Felicia the specific handage. Also came in late, you know. Yeah, so you guys can put your feedback. Yeah, everyone fill the second sheet one. Oh, I need to tell OGTA what time we are doing.
Sorry, I got another one more question. The
Oh,
functional
okay.
visit will take how many days? 2 days?
2 to 3 days, depending on the need of your LC group.
So it's only me, only will do lah, means okay.
Yeah, let me check back the sentence. It's 2 days. Yeah, 2 days, 2 days, not 2 to 3, 2 days.
Okay, thanks, Eugene.
Hey, Donna is chasing me.
Yes, he's chasing you.
When did you even get access to my meeting link?
I stopped Jenny's calendar.
What the? Okay.
Oh shit, I shouldn't say that. Yeah, I checked from it. Hi.
Okay, I'm going to prepare the shell shock room. Okay, when this song is at the 3-minute mark, then the end we take photo. Wow, Jenny's ex-drama. Oh, I forgot check-in to sing song. Okay, next week.
Junhua, all eyes on you.
春花道歉，春花道歉。
Wait. why one of the sheep got deleted. We have 15 people, right? Then here is like we shall wake up. Oh, I forgot to stop recording.